Hello, thank you for stopping by. My name is Ruby, this is Ruby Red, and today I have another weekly reading vlog. So it's Tuesday, it's the third week in February, it's the third week of the Sims readathon. I'm still reading this big old book, and today I'm doing that with my big old lunch. So pleased. Okay, it's 9:45. Tuesday night. It's raining. I just took the dog out. He's upset. He doesn't like the rain. Anyway, I need a book to read in bed tonight because I'm not sleepy and I don't want to deal with my stupid reading light. So I need something on my Kindle. The Secret Lives of Bats, My Adventures with the World's Most Misunderstood Mammals by Merlin Tuttle. This is a book about bats. That's all for tonight. I just wanted to let you know that I'm starting another book. This will count for a book about animals for Sims readathon, and also it's just been on my TBR for a long time, So my mom had texted me on Valentine's Day that she sent me something, but it was going to be a little bit late. But it came today, so here we go. It's beans. She sent me a box full of dried heirloom beans and this beautiful cookbook about cooking beans. Okay. Hear me out. I don't know. So, I spent today sewing. Not really, but yesterday I went to Goodwill and I bought 2 t-shirts that are like identical to 2 of my other t-shirts, so that's great. And I bought these pillowcases because they were just such a good green. I was like, I could make a shirt out of these and it would be amazing. And instead of buying a pattern, which is what you might do, I was like, I could figure it out. And that's true. So I had a first draft. This is an old sheet that Carbon chewed some holes in, and we were gonna get rid of it. And I was like, wait, let me try something. So I'm using it just to like draft a shirt, just a really plain shirt, really. And then I was like, let's be a little bit goofy. So I mean, you can see this is the sleeve. I'm thinking about doing like something cute up here, but it won't look like this. So don't look at that. The sleeves, you know, are like that. And then I was like, let's do a ruffle. But I think the ruffle is, oh my gosh, I look kind of sunburned. I think the ruffle is not, it's not working, how I wanted. Yeah, no. That ruffle is not the ruffle that we want or deserve. I could maybe do like a smaller, I think actually maybe it needs to be like a longer ruffle, but less ruffled. I don't know what to do. But I wanted to put something cute on the shirt so it's not just like a plain box. I guess I'm gonna see what happens if I shorten that sleeve to what I shortened this one to be before putting the ruffle on. And we're gonna see if that looks better. I'm watching Bones while I do this. I'm not listening to my audiobook, but I have been listening to an audiobook and I'm gonna use it for a Sims readathon prompt. Famous main character, I'll talk about it another time because I just can't get into it right now. Okay, so yeah, this is actually not working for me. I might do something like this on the back though. I think the little tacked detail is like cute. But this shortened sleeve is definitely more like I just like it better. I'm really sad about the frilled sleeve though. I just don't know what to do to like make that work. So I think this is probably gonna be it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I wish that the frills were working for me. Maybe if they were, I don't know. What do you think? Team frill or not? It's gonna be too late by the time I post this. Hopefully I'll have made the shirt. We'll see what happens. Okay, we're doing the ruffle. You know what? I was sitting with it. I was thinking about it. Ruffles are happening right now. I don't know if you know this, but ruffles are really having a moment. I hemmed and hawed, I asked for some opinions, and I decided to do the ruffle. So this is my first attempt. Oh, No, it's not. It's my third attempt at drafting my own garment. I did make like a little pair of pajama shorts, which are great, and a little pajama tank top, which is not great. But since doing all that, I've learned a lot about garment construction, so I think this is going a lot better already. Anyway, the next thing to do is to kind of make a pattern, and the best, like, that you can use again and again, right? So I have this draft garment, rough draft, and so I'm just transferring it onto some paper so that I can have those pieces of paper that I can trace onto the fabric that I actually want to use to make this shirt. So I'll just show you. I'm using the craft packing paper that came in my Valentine's Day box of beans. I just drew out the ruffle, and then I drew out the front of the shirt. And just like, if you're interested, here she is. I'm adding 5/8 inch of seam allowance. That's 1.5 centimeters. That's just how things are. So I have the dotted line is where I'll cut these out, and then I'll know that like that's the seam line, and that will help if I have to make any alterations, if I ever want to like change it up. And over here I just noted like where the ruffle and stuff goes. So now I'm just gonna make the back, and then I will have them. Hold on, I'll show you in a second. Okay, here's the finished work. The front and the back, which are the same, except for the collar is higher in the back. And I have all my little markings on it. And I just cut one of each of these, and then they're on the fold here, so you'll end up with a front and a back. And I also just noted how much binding I need to use for the collar about. Okay, there's a lot of guesstimating going on here, but also a lot of fun. I've been having a good time putting this little project together, and I will let you know how things progress, but I think I'm gonna be done for tonight. Gonna grab something to eat. I don't know what to eat, and then I'm gonna read my little book. Okay, it's the middle of the day. I was actually just reading her, but basically this is the pillowcase. I unstitched a whole one. And this is what we're left with. It's a pillowcase. And this is the like kind of funky, it's not funky, just a little detail that I want to use somewhere on my shirt. Basically what I decided is like the best way to do this is, here's the front, and it's on a fold, and it doesn't go all the way down, but I thought I'd rather have a seam going across the bottom than down the middle, because it wasn't gonna fit folded like this way. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna take this off and maybe use this part as the bottom piece there. And then I'll have plenty of room with the rest of this to make my ruffles. Okay, apparently this is a sewing vlog, but basically, so here's the back, and then I have the front still pinned to my pattern. What I ended up doing, because I was having some feelings about the grain line, is I sewed the pieces together, and then I finished it in a way that I was like, that could be like, you know, cute in its own way. So I have everything cut out, and I'm just gonna pin it and then sew it together. Happy sewing vlog, yay! Okay, I don't know what's happening to this vlog. I think now I'm like a lifestyle DIY vlogger or something. Hope you're having fun. The soup that I made tonight was seriously so good. Like, it's just like such a simple soup. It's like basic veggie soup. So regular, but it just like really hit the spot. And yeah, I really hit the spot. And those shell noodles are like the perfect soup noodle, because every little shell is its own little bowl of soup, and it can fit one single pea inside of it, you know? So really pleased with what happened there. And you know what? I'm gonna link the soup recipe below. I heavily modified it. And also like my shirt, I really wanted to finish that today actually, because I was hoping to wear it this weekend. Just kind of like for fun. But yeah, that just was not gonna happen tonight because I had to make the soup. But I am excited about what's happening. I'm pleased where things are headed. Like the shirt is like not gonna be, I mean, I didn't even have a strong vision going into this. I just like was like, you know what, I want to try to draft a shirt, and I have this small amount of green fabric that like I love the color, so like let's just see what we can do. And we're seeing what we can do, and I love that about sewing and about like any kind of like craft that you do, any kind of like art project, you just like keep getting better. Like every time you do something, you're learning something and it's fun. So it's like, is this gonna be like my favorite shirt? Probably not, but just like what I'm gaining is just like, can't be measured. Enough about that, let's talk about books. I have nothing to say about the Bat book, except that I don't understand people who like go into caves, like spelunking and or looking for bats. Like, yes, I love bats, okay, adorable, helpful, essential, they're magnificent, we need them, we love them, fine. But like whenever I am hearing a story about someone going into a cave, it's never good. It's always like, and at that point I really should have turned around, but I didn't know that, so I didn't turn around. And I just kept smooshing my body through smaller and smaller crevices into this cave. Hate that. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Ship of Magic. I have been reading this a bunch today, and I'm gonna keep reading it after we talk. One of the characters that is really making this fun is the Pirate King, Kenneth. He's not the Pirate King, he's just a pirate, and he has like lofty goals and aspirations. I think he's like fairly educated. I don't really remember his backstory. Basically he doesn't want to be a pirate. He's got these lofty goals, and he has this first mate who he thinks is not very smart. He's kind of like mean to him, and he's like doesn't respect him at all, really. But we're starting to get some hints that maybe his first mate is like, I can't remember his name, but he's like maybe got more going on than we thought. As far as Althea, the girl, the daughter of the last person to die and bring this ship to life, she's not like doing a lot for me as a character, but there are some other characters in that like same like part of the story, specifically her father's first mate, Brashen. I'm really interested in, and just like I just love his, I don't know, like I really care about him. I want to know what's going to happen to him. I want to know where he's going to go. I find him to be like an actually likable character. I just don't really know what this book has in store for him, and I'm worried about it. More worried than I am about Althea, frankly. There is this phenomenon, I guess it's like we're kind of observing like the end of this, or maybe the beginning of this transformation, where it seems like this society of, at least of Bingtown, the traders, like they used to be a very, not necessarily a matriarchal society, but at least like men and women had more of an equal footing, and you know, women were not thought to be like incompetent or like stupid by their very nature. They definitely could like own and work and do all the kind of the same things. It seems like they were valued equally in society, and now there is more of a patriarchal dominating ideology like coming up, and it feels to me like it's sort of being shipped in on the same ships as all of these slaves. They're growing, things are changing, but like they're changing into this like nasty little patriarchy mess. So that's interesting to be navigating. It's just like I like for there to be politics, okay, in my fantasy. that's fun. And especially when it's whatever. I have a lot of thinking to do still about this shift and how it relates to the slave trade and whatever else is going to be going on. And I'm sure that my feelings about this are going to continue to develop as I read the rest, all 600 more pages of this book. The final thing that I want to just let you know is absolutely amazing about this book is Wintro. Wintro is, I think, 13-year-old boy, Althea's nephew. Such a good perspective to read from because he's like, he's all about mindfulness, you know, and like witnessing your emotions and your feelings and, you know, accepting them and then moving past them or moving on without, you know, without fear, without resentment, for like having those feelings and whatever. Yeah, he's a mindfulness king. I am loving Wintro. I am so glad he's here. He brings such a different perspective than any of our other characters. So such range. Wow. What a crew we've got. So exciting. I'm so pleased. And I'm just going to keep reading this until I pass out tonight. And tomorrow I'm heading up to LA. I'm going to listen to my audiobook, and you know what? I'll tell you about it tomorrow, but I'm really excited. It's my best friend Emily's birthday, so I'm gonna just hang out with her and some of our other friends a little bit. And then I'm gonna get my hair cut. I'm about to get my hair cut. Here's the before. Well, did that transition work? And I finished another book. Hi, back home. I had a grand old time in LA, got to see my friends. We had some really good pizza and chill. And I got my hair cut. Anyway, while I was driving home, I did finish my audiobook of Slow Days, Fast Company by Eve Babbitt's. I read that. I listened to it because it was my book club book this month, and we're meeting next week, so I'm glad that I finished it. And I gotta say, I loved it. It was a great read. I'm not sure how to talk about it, but I'm gonna do my best. Well, first of all, it's my famous main character because Eve Babbitt's is the main character and she's famous. So Slow Days, Fast Company is a collection of short stories, I guess, but it's memoir. So it's about Eve's life and they're tales from like the 70s in Hollywood. She's from Hollywood. She grew up there and she, I think, lived there forever. And she wrote this book about just like some stuff and some experiences and some like elements of like LA-ness. There's tons of drugs, there's a lot of sex, it's very much like rich people partying, but there was just such a like an element of like nostalgia, of course, because it's about like the 70s. It's like it just has like kind of a glow over the whole book, and her writing is phenomenal. So it was a joy to consume it. Like I wish that I had been actually reading it so that I would have been underlining a lot. I wasn't super amped to read it when it was picked as our book because I was kind of like, meh, I don't really want to read like old Hollywood memoir. I don't know, I don't think of myself as someone who likes memoir, and I just like wasn't feeling like I wanted to be nostalgic about LA because I did used to live there and I don't anymore, and I miss all of the people, like all of my friends and everything who are in LA, but I don't actually really miss LA, the town. So whatever, I was like going into it kind of like, but I loved it. And it made me, I don't know, I just loved it. I do just want to add that I think if you loved The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, this might be something that would interest you, and maybe Eve Babbitt's writing in general would be something you should check out because she does write about Hollywood. I don't remember when Evelyn Hugo is mainly set. I guess it's I guess it spans kind of a long time, but Slow Days, Fast Company specifically, I think is surrounding like the mid 70s. And there's a lot more drugs than there were in Evelyn Hugo, but it's similarly like very sexy, a lot of like several threesomes, but in no way is it graphic. Like, and I think there's also an element in both of those books of like working with the male gaze and like understanding how members of the opposite sex perceive you and like playing with that. And either, I don't know, just like there's a strong awareness of the male gaze upon Eve herself. Like, she knows what men think of her, and she also uses that to her advantage and like talks about that and compares notes with like other girls, and she talks about gossip and like, I don't know. I knew that I was not gonna make a lot of sense or I wasn't gonna be able to sensibly talk about this book tonight, but I just like, because I just finished it, I was like, it's fresh, it's on my mind, I'm still thinking about it, I want to say my piece and be done with it, but clearly I should have waited. Anyway, finishing that is the only significant like reading update that I can give you, so that's gonna be it for me for tonight. Maybe I'll have closing remarks tomorrow if we're lucky. Okay, that's all I have for you this week. But if you are still burning with curiosity about the pillowcase shirt, that's going to be resolved in next week's vlog. So you're just going to have to come back here next week for my final February weekly reading vlog. But until then, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.